Hi there, I'm Andrew, the coach and writer behind Religious Trauma Sucks. Today I have the holiday double bind and look forward to sharing this story with you about my own growing up and my own understanding of how um, I was faced with this challenge of how do I become fully the person I am around the people who expect me to be someone else. So the holiday double bind. I remember some of my first trips home from college for the holidays. Thanksgiving was always special to me, and it was always marked by our family recounting the lore of our secret chestnut stuffing recipe. It was usually a debate over how old the recipe was and how much wine was supposed to go in it, and I think it's sherry, but don't quote me on that. While I had only been gone for a few months, my world had shifted dramatically. I was reading philosophy, getting my major sorted, living with roommates who challenged my worldview, and slowly, tentatively building a new version of myself. And then I walked through my grandparents' front door. Almost instantly, without conscious thought, the person I was becoming was gone. The new, questioning, expanding version of myself was gone. In his place was a prior self, a younger self, a more agreeable self from high school. My voice got a little higher and more rambunctious. I found myself talking about the high school days, recounting stories and the where are they now questions about my old friends. And as the years went on, I really struggled to remember the same old jokes I knew would get a laugh. I became a more carefully curated, two dimensional version of myself, designed for maximum harmony. I was performing a role I knew I needed to outgrow, and that sensation of enduring this personality whiplash was staggering. The pain felt like self betrayal. Each visit home was a noticeable measurement between who I was becoming and who I was expected to be. This is known as the holiday reversion. And if you felt that, you are not alone. It's the invisible price of admission many of us pay to keep a seat at the table, especially if your family operates within high control dynamics that no longer resonate with you. This experience is a classic double bind. And as I wrote in the playbook of control, this is the quintessential damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario that many of us face as we approach the holidays. Applied to the holiday table, this double bind can look like this: the authenticity bind. You're told to be yourself and we love you for you. But when you express an opinion that differs from the family consensus, especially around politics, religion, lifestyle, you are subversively punished with silence, overtly punished with argument, or the label of being divisive. Self damned if you're fake, family damned if you're real. My reversion to a high school self was a preemptive surrender to this bind. There's also gaslighting, the engine behind the reversion. The double bind is so effective because it is enforced by gaslighting, the systematic erosion of your reality. When your entire body is screaming internally, I don't agree with this, but the room demands a performance of happy belonging, you are taught to betray your internal knowing. To me, it feels like these little stress fractures on our soul. Hilary McBride argues in her book, The Wisdom of Your Body, that our mental and bodily well being are an indivisible whole. They're intrinsically connected. The tension headache that arrives with the guest, the stomach that churns during a certain conversation, those are not random systems. They are data and they are truth tellers. It is the body's protection mechanism, the same one that used to give me migraines before every all staff meeting at a high control organization. But in a system that prioritizes the illusion of harmony over the reality of its members, you are taught to silence that data, that bodily data. The holiday reversion is an act of silencing your own evolution for the comfort of the system. At this point, I'd like to just invite us into a gentle embodiment practice. If this story stirs something in your body, that makes a lot of sense. Your body remembers it. And if it feels safe, let's embrace a gentle embodiment practice together. For me, consent is king. And if this exercise did not feel safe for you or in your body, you may stop at any time and scroll on ahead. So let's anchor. Place one hand over your chest and one on your stomach, and you may close your eyes if that feels comfortable. I invite you to feel the warmth of your hands and feel the gentle rise and fall of your current adult breath, breathing right now. Silently or in a soft whisper, say this phrase: I am here now. This version of me is real. You're welcome to say it again. I am here now. This version of me is real. Notice what it feels like in your body to validate the person you are today. Ask your body, what is the one thing you need to feel present and safe right now? It might be a deep breath, a sip of water, or the feeling of your feet on the floor. Trust your first answer that you feel. The goal is not to win, it's to stay present to yourself. The path forward is not about preparing for a dramatic confrontation. It is not your job to force your family or for those you might be celebrating with to see the new you. The most important person to care for is yourself. A possible goal for this season might be just to navigate these gatherings without abandoning yourself. And this might look like catching the reversion, simply noticing the impulse to change. Perhaps you notice the urge to edit a story. You can say to yourself, oh, there it is, the old role. I see it, and I can make a difference. Allowing for a quiet presence. You do not have to perform. It's okay to be quieter than you used to be. Your calm, observant presence is just as valid as cheerful participation. And you can redefine what a successful holiday looks like. Success is not necessarily a conflict free dinner where you planned your part perfectly. Success is ending the day knowing that you honored the person that you are becoming today. Success is staying connected to the wisdom of your body. You are not too sensitive. You are not ruining things by changing. The discomfort you feel is the friction of your own growth, and that growth is something to be honored, cherished, not hidden. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a finely tuned instrument for detecting inauthenticity. This week, I hope you are able to find a simple way to trust yourself and in the way that felt inaccessible before. May you find moments to honor the person you are becoming, and may you celebrate your magnificence because you are fucking magnificent. And may you remember that your presence, your real, authentic, evolving presence, that is enough. You, as you are today, is enough. Thank you. It's good to be with you in this time.